Patriotic comrades, today we're diving into the shocking accusations from St. Lucia's brand new Prime Minister. Yes, he claims Jamaica Labour Party JLP interfered in his election. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this political plot twist feels like an episode of House of Cards, Caribbean edition. Buckle up. So let's listen to the newly elected Prime Minister of St. Lucia, who is on record calling out the JLP by name of their election interference. Let's listen up.
No, I'm not surprised because it's not the first time that the Jamaica Labour Party has done that. You know, the Jamaican Labour Party, its traditional friends is the United Workers Party, although we are Labour parties. But you know, I hold no ill will, no ill feelings. In fact, after your hurricane, St. Lucia made a contribution of $500,000 to the government and people of Jamaica. And so we have no feelings. I believe that if we live in a society where people have a right to support who they want, and the people of Jamaica and St. Lucia will remain friends. But it wasn't my business, but what I know is they were actively involved in the campaign, and they were on the media, you know, but really that's water under the bridge. The impact was minimal, and I guess they will be catching their plane tomorrow and getting back to Kingston.
Patriotic comrades, so picture this. It's election night in St. Lucia. Confetti flying, supporters screaming, journalists running around like it's the Olympics. And then, boom, a storyline drops harder than Digicel data at peak hours. The newly re-elected Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre, casually reveals, oh, by the way, Jamaica's JLP allegedly sent operatives to campaign against us. But no hard feelings. Hold up, what? Political operatives, Caribbean cross borders campaign missions? Is this a political rally or an Avengers spin-off? And just when you think the story settles, oh no, because open loop number one, this isn't even the first time those allegations surfaced. We'll get back to that in a minute. The accusations, diplomacy, but make it spicy. Pierre states he holds no ill will towards the JLP, which in Caribbean diplomacy is code for me see what I wanna do, but me I behave myself. He claims reports emerged of Jamaica Labour Party JLP operatives assisting the UWP, St. Lucia's opposition party. Now here's where the comedy writes itself. Imagine winning 14 out of 17 seats, while the alleged secret agents of another country are supposedly on the ground. That's like saying Batman came to fight for the villain, but the villain still lost by a landslide. Ouch. Open loop number two. This has happened before. Pierre drops another nugget. This isn't the first time, and suddenly the Caribbean political universe expands because similar claims popped up recently in St. Vincent, where Dr. Ralph Gonzalez's party reportedly faced the same thing before losing big. So now we have a pattern or a coincidence or a really weird tourist trend. But here's the kicker. The alleged operatives didn't seem to help anywhere, which sets up our second cliffhanger. If these missions exist, why are they failing so spectacularly? We'll circle back. The landslide and what it really means. Pierre's SLP1, 14 out of 17 seats. A victory so big it makes sweepstakes look humble. Meanwhile, UWP held on to only one seat. If the allegations are true, that means the supposed interference had the political impact of a mosquito landing on a hurricane. This is where we zoom out, patriotic Jamaican style, and ask, what's the lesson here? 1. Foreign political involvement, alleged or real, tends to backfire. 2. Caribbean voters are not easily influenced by imported strategies. 3. Local issues always beat foreign theatrics. 4. And most importantly, Caribbean politics is a multiverse of plot twist. The mystery. The Jamaica Labour Party JLP hasn't acknowledged the allegations, not confirmed, not denied. And in politics, that silence can mean 1. Never happened. 2. We're ignoring this. 3. Our PR team is on lunch break. But here's the real suspense. If Caribbean parties are sending operatives to other islands, what does that mean for future elections? Regional alliances, imported campaign strategies, a Caribbean political cinematic universe. Leave your theories in the comments below, because this is where the story gets global. What we learned. In the end, Pierre's message was basically, if they came, they didn't make a difference. So this entire solution becomes political drama mixed with diplomatic humor. The Caribbean edition of telling someone, bless your heart, you tried. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Quick recap. St. Lucia's PM Philip Pierre alleges Jamaica Labour Party JLP operatives campaigned for the UWP. Claims this is not the first time such accusations surfaced. SLP1, a massive landslide anyway. 14 of 17 seats. Similar allegations appeared in St. Vincent. JLP has neither confirmed or denied involvement. Raises regional questions about foreign influence and campaign strategies. Election results suggest alleged interference, if real, had minimal impact. So, patriotic comrades, newly elected St. Lucia Prime Minister accuses the Jamaica Labour Party JLP of election interference. So make we Google what is election interference, and me go work with the Wikipedia definition. Election interference generally refers to efforts to change the outcome of an election, especially by illegitimate means. Kinds of election interference may include electoral fraud, illegal interference with the process of an election, vote buying, when a political party or candidate distributes money to a voter with the expectation that they will vote for them. Voter impersonation, when an eligible voter votes more than once, or a non-eligible voter votes under the name of an eligible one. Foreign electoral intervention, attempts by governments to influence elections in another country. Illegal electioneering, such as campaigning or wearing political apparel too close to a polling place. Recruiting candidates with identical or similar names to an existing one. intended to confuse voters, where prohibited the use of public funds to persuade voters to vote in a certain way. So election interference is just the proper term for say you steal or thief one election, or you try to thief one election. So patriotic comrades, that's the definition of election interference, and that is what the Jamaica Labour Party is being accused of by newly elected St. Lucia's Prime Minister Pierre. So patriotic comrades, for all of those who been a say, the September 3rd general election between the PNP and the JLP was free and fair and nothing never happened. Nobody never thief no election. A loses we can take and we need to move on. The elections are over. Apparently, we've been vindicated. Apparently, we were right about our suspicions. Apparently, we've been proven that all that we were saying turned out to be true, because the Jamaica Labour Party JLP take themselves gone way a St. Lucia figure get accused of election interference. And election interference is where political parties use, specific strategies to steal an election. You understand? To change the outcome so them win the election. In Jamaica, we just say then thief the election. But the correct term is election interference, because that cover everything. Again, to those stupid individuals, we are going to say, if the JLP did thief the election, it would be easy to prove a modern time now. No dummy, nobody now got thief no election so you can prove it. You think me I got thief no election say you can easily go Google search and prove some thief it? No. Tricks in trade matches sticks in boxes. It's not what you do or how you do it. You understand? Zine, and make a reference back to a point in history where similar allegations and accusations happened locally when Tanya Stevenson leveled accusations that himself and Rhodamai Crawford allegedly was working on the behalf of the Prime Minister Andrew Holness to steal the election from Audley Shaw. Yes, so Tanya Stevenson is on record for saying that. Yes, those allegations. And me no see nobody come out come sue him yet for defamation or say a lie him a tell and sue him in a court. So, and similar allegations had also been made in St. Vincent, where longtime Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez and his Unity Labour Party ULP were defeated by the Dr. Godwin Friday-led New Democratic Party in a landslide. Reports emerged that several Jamaica Labour Party JLP operatives had been deployed to St. Lucia to assist the United Workers' Party UWP's campaign. The JLP has not acknowledged the allegations. So in other words, patriotic comrades, them ignore it and pretend like them know say the allegations and accusations are circulating in the media. So they not acknowledge it, they not give it no time of day, because if them acknowledge it is the more bigger the problem I go get and the more attention them I go draw to it and the more people are go focus on it. You see me? Because there are already suspicions and various allegations, accusations about the September 3rd local Jamaica general election. You understand? Where many Jamaicans, including myself, is of the view or the opinion say that election was stolen. There's a lot of thing about that election which just seem off. From the day them come out with the fake bomb threat, the day when the police them did figure vote. So they have the police spread thin on a wild goose chase with the fake bomb threat. Remember, this is Jamaica. Then things that don't exist in a Jamaica. This is not the Middle East. You understand? So from that day, we already see Norman something off, and that was before the election. So from this, we start pay attention and we say, Norman, we know that this is a wild goose chase out of nowhere. So from this, we start watch the JLP, and then cause we say, Norman, we have the election in the bag. So we already see the stunts where them been a pull, and then come election day, we see all the stunts where them pull. You see me? And whole heap of irregularities take place on September 3rd. One whole heap of vote buying take place. You see me? A lot of election interference take place on September 3rd against us over the PMP. So I am not surprised when we hear say the JLP take them talents overseas, because you have to dance a yard before you can dance abroad. So apparently they have mastered election interference locally. So because they master it locally, maybe from September 3rd, then they said, well, we can take the show on the road. So make we go over St. Lucia. But apparently it never work on them, the people there. You understand? Them the people they're not as corrupt as some local Jamaicans that would facilitate or make something like that, you know, easy and possible. So this is why many Jamaicans, including myself, feel like this third term is an illegitimate third term, and this is proof that the JLP is not, you know, interested in carrying out free and fair elections. Disprove it. Ralph Gonzalez say then do the same thing to him, then did support his opposition. Theme opposition did beat him. You understand? So me don't know what kind of election interference formula the JLP have, but me say this already and me will say it again. You see, when somebody know how to steal an election, they don't care about what the people of the country want to say about them, because come next election they more thief that one day again. So your job in the opposition have to figure out how to counter them stealing another election, because remember them have the money, you know, they can buy out anybody where they need to buy out some police where already support them, we already are gonna vote for them. You understand? And strategically put the police them would have vote for them in a key PMP constituency. So when certain time come, when you look, you see police them disappear. Police were supposed to be on the grounds of the polling station, certain time you see them disappear. And then when you look at beer, anarchy and chaos take place. You understand? You see man with mask enter polling station and start bad up the polling officials till they feel like their life in danger, they feel unsafe. So they just left, and when they left, anything can happen. Any amount of voting multiple times can happen. So as me say, a whole heap of things happen in Jamaica on September 3rd. So this is just proof say the JLP is not a party that can be trusted. Wholeness is not a leader that can be trusted. You understand? Breaking news, patriotic comrades. Tanya Stevenson doesn't trust Andrew Holness and his handling of Hurricane Melissa relief funds. Reggae icon Tanya Stevenson is making it clear that she has no trust in Prime Minister Andrew Holness when it comes to handling both the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa and the funds donated to assist affected Jamaicans. Her statements comes after a social media post where she openly questioned Holness's leadership and expressed concern about the transparency of the relief efforts. The post quickly drew backlash from some followers. Tanya, a known supporter of Mark Golding, said her criticism is not about politics, but about accountability. She insists that the people of Jamaica deserves clarity and honesty regarding how the disaster funds are being used, and she believes that Holness's handling so far warrants scrutiny. The singer also emphasized that she is watching the Prime Minister like a hawk, and that holding him accountable is a responsibility, not an attack. Despite facing criticism in the comment section, Tanya remains firm in her position, determined to call out any mismanagement of resources intended to help those impacted by Hurricane Melissa. Patriotic comrades asking the Prime Minister for transparency, clarity, and holding him accountable is not politics. It's just good governance. And as Jamaican citizens, we have a right, a mandate to ask and demand transparency and hold him responsible and accountable for any mismanagement of funds. However, what we have is a government will love gaslight we, you see me, into believing that holding them accountable or asking really serious questions, you are automatically labeled as a PMP supporter, even if you're neutral. You understand? In other words, the JLP try to invalidate your valid questions or your valid statements by saying, oh, because you support the PNP. You understand? Which is ridiculous. So they use that as a deflection tactic for evade and dodge, not addressing or answering a question where you ask or responding to specific statements. They use PR rhetoric as usual, you know, to try avoid the real questions. Cause we see it with Dana Morris Dixon and Dean Jax Miller. When Dean Jax Miller asked a specific question, Dana Morris Dixon say, you know, say someone from the PNP asked me that same exact question. So she a try frame it as, oh, so because you're PNP, why you, Dean Jax Miller, asked me, Dana Morris Dixon, that the question there. So she gives the perception that, or she throw the perception out to the public and the wider Jamaica, say, or give the impression, say, oh, Dean Jackson must be a PNP, and that's why she asked the question there. We see it live on camera. I mean, I said, Dana Morris Dixon, you know, easy, you know. So the JLP is very good at, you know, public relations. But we won't allow this whole mess administration to gaslight with no PR and fling no label pan we and talk about, oh, we are spread misinformation and disinformation. Nobody spreads more misinformation than the government. They are the ones who spread the most disinformation, the most lies. Apparently, them want to have a monopolistic control on spreading misinformation, disinformation, political propaganda, and lies. So when me see Malahu Ford make her speech and Wholeness making speech, and me realize, yeah man, them always I try find some reason for, you know, silence the vloggers. You see me? So now them a try pass laws and them been a try pass the lawyer. This is them attacking free speech. You see me? And in every democracy, free speech is the cornerstone of democracy. And if you don't have no free speech, you don't have a democracy. You have a dictatorship. You have autocracy. You have totalitarian rule. Never forget that. You have a slave plantation. So Jamaicans, you have to decide if you want to be slaves again. You see me? You must know if you want to be perpetually enslaved under a new digital system with smart cities and all of them things there. The writings are already on the wall. You see me? You can see the clear direction where them are try put the world into. Them basically want to enslave all of humanity. And you can see the world leaders were on board with this globalist agenda. You see them take orders from them puppet masters. You see them make certain moves. You see them try to come with needs. You see them try to come with smart city. You see them try to come with digital currency and digital wallet. Those are the writings on the wall. And let me prescribe something to Wholeness and his administration, because I realize they're not too smart. You see the best way to fight the disinformation and the misinformation as them claim? You don't fight misinformation and disinformation by trying to silence the people you claim say a spread said falsehood. You actually fight it by leaving it alone and let the public decide. Make we the Jamaican citizens decide what's the truth and what is false. But the moment you step out and you try pass laws and legislation, you basically attack free speech. And you try kill all of the birds them with one stone because you feel like so this is the best way to silence your critics and your opposition. And you wonder why people call you a wannabe dictator. Because of things like them, yeah. You're trying to silence vloggers. You basically try to silence every Jamaican citizen. That's why we have to watch Wholeness carefully. PM Wholeness, you're too little and thin skin, brother. You're supposed to run a country. Where the hell you find time for care about what bloggers are say about you? Me never see Trump come out and attack no bloggers in America. Not once, not ever. Me never hear him talk about them yet. So if you supposed to be a prime minister with busy a running country, where the hell you find time for you here and care about what bloggers are say about you? And then you wonder why people don't like you. You can't say you don't care, say they don't like you, because you're more you do things where they don't like, I'm more they don't like you. And you can't force people to like you either, brother. You see me, historically you'd hear people say, say you'd hear labor rights say, say Michael Manley was the best prime minister Jamaica ever see. Me hear labor rights say that. You see me hear some elders say that. You see me? Likewise, would I hear comrades say, then think Bruce Golden would make a good prime minister if he never have to resign or step down due to certain things. But Wholeness, nobody now go say that about you. Nobody now gonna say that about you, brother. We are gonna just have you as the worst prime minister, the wannabe dictator. You understand? Because you're not likable. You're very good at acting and putting on a show for the cameras and, you see me, kill with PR rhetoric punchlines. But we can situate, we say you're fake, we say you're just acting and pretend. You're cosplaying like you're a real leader, but you're not. Wholeness, this is the impression where you get all away. Apparently, you just sit down in your office at daytime, scroll and surf on Instagram and TikTok, over YouTube and watch where the PMP vloggers are say, or what Jamaican citizens are say about you. That impression where you give is you sit down in your office not doing a damn thing because you are too overly concerned with where Jamaican citizens have to say about you. You're not only leader in a world where you get criticism from a citizen. Nobody not get no more criticism and backlash and hate than a Donald Trump. Never see Trump come out and react and go on like how you are going. At least Trump is a real masculine man. So there's a difference. You see me? So masculinity don't react like that. Masculinity is stoic, calm. You see me? Focus on the task at hand. You can say whatever you want about Trump, but he not react emotionally. You see me? That is for a female leader. You see me? Because women are very emotional. So them would react in a emotional feminine way, not for a man. You understand? It's not masculine when you react like that. You need to practice some stoicism, Wholeness. If you love these deep dives, Caribbean political plot twist, hit like, subscribe and tap the bell, because next time we're breaking down the other election mystery that nobody saw coming. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.